Hello everyone, and welcome to Pearls of Joy. I want to pick up where I left off from the last video I did concerning tithing. The title of that video is Tithe is Fruit That Comes from Seeds, whether it be seeds of the land, seeds of the body, or seeds of an animal. And fruit is not money, and money is not fruit. Even though tithing is a biblical concept, in the case of Abraham and Jacob, it was a vow. But what has happened over time through man-made religious doctrines, they have taken the concept of tithing out of its context and have made it something that it was not intended to be. And I just want to kind of do an overview of what I talked about in the last video. This particular video will be considered part 2. And what I talked about is the fact that we all know that tithe is a tenth, and every living thing that produces after its kind has a seed. And what I'm going to talk about here is the difference between a seed that contains oil and water and that is used for the health of our bodies when we eat of those fruits that comes from the land, and the nutrition that comes from that flows through our blood to bring health to our blood, which in turn brings health and life to our body. And the difference in that type of seed and money is that money does not have a seed that produces after its own kind. Money is processed through the mineralization of the land, and it is not used as a tithe, because tithe is used for the sacrificial tithe is used for the remission of sin. And when the remission of sin is required, blood is required. So money does not have any blood in it. The vegetables and the fruits and grains and different things like that we eat for our health, it does have a seed that produces after itself. And the lifeblood that's in that is for the life of the blood in our flesh. And that is what is required for tithing, because tithing is something that we use when we come before the Most High to celebrate or to fellowship. In the case of in ancient times, the Levites and the priests, they did not have an inheritance. They kept the house of the Most High, and when the people came to the house to celebrate the holy days, they brought 10% of all the increase of their land and their crops, and they ate and they feasted, and there was enough for them to also store. They had land, but the land was for the purpose of storing the increase. Like a person that had, say, lambs, they brought the first of their lamb, and it was brought to the house, and so there was much produce and vegetation in the house of the Most High. And also the tithe was eaten. It was eaten by those who brought the tithe. And you can read about that. No, as a matter of fact, we're going to read it. Let's look at Deuteronomy chapter 14, and we're going to start at verse 22. And it says that you shall truly tithe all the increase of your seed that the field brings forth year by year. So here is talking about the field. The field is talking about the land. And you shall eat before Yahuwah your Aluah, in the place which he shall choose to place his name there, the tithe of your corn, of your wine, of your oil, and the firstlings of thy herds and of thy flocks, that you may learn to fear Yahuwah your Aluah. And if the way be too long for thee, so that you are not able to carry it, or if the place be too far from you, which Yahuwah your Alua shall choose to set his name there, when Yahuwah your Alua have blessed you, then shall you turn it into money. See, this is the only time that money is mentioned, is when you put it in your hand, you turn it into money, because your cows or your lambs or whatever you had, the place where his name is too far and you can't carry it all. So you go to that place, and when you get to that place, you take the money, your money that's in your hand, and you buy those things to take, so that you can have something to sacrifice and join in with the party. Because these celebrations that we do before our Yahuwah, our Alua, they are parties. That's where partying came from. Okay, and it says that verse 25, you shall turn it into money, and bind up the money in your hand, and shall go into the place which Yahuwah your Alua shall choose, and you shall bestow that money for whatever your soul lusteth after. In this case, lust is really desire, and this in itself also is telling us that this is going to be consumed by the people. And then he says, whether it be for ox or for sheep, or for wine, or for strong drink, or for whatsoever your soul desire, and you shall eat there before Yahuwah your Alua, and you shall rejoice, you and your household. So this in itself is telling us that in this case, money is used, but the money is used to buy that which was bought from that came from a seed. Now, just to reiterate a little bit more. Okay, the fruit of the womb comes from seed after its own kind, as in humans and animals. The fruit of the earth comes from seed. Now, the fruit of the spirit comes from the seed of the word bought by Yahusha. Food for the soul. This is what makes us righteous. The word of Yahuwah is seed that bears fruit, the fruit of righteousness, and you can read that in Galatians 5:22. The word is seed that is sown, and again, seeds do not bear money. The sower sows the word in the soil of the heart and produce after that seed. Let me look at my notes a little bit here. Okay, Yahusha, I'm going to talk a little bit about the fact that Yahusha, and I use the restored name Yahusha. I'm talking about who some may call Jesus. He was a seed, and he died, and just like a seed, he was wrapped in linen, buried in the earth, and he sprung through because he was a good seed that could not be held down by death. After facing death and defeating death, he rose up, and he is the first fruit, the 10th of all the increase of those to come, the saints. And we will be bearing fruit after his kind. Money is a product of the land that's produced through mineralization. It has no fluid. It has no blood. It has no water, like gold, silver, onyx, bdellium. You can read that in Genesis 2:11 and 12. Money is used as a means of trade for wages and for offering or for giving. Money is used in accordance with principal guidelines